Hey there, this is Clay, and today I'm actually going to be talking about boundaries between you and your ex, or really between anyone else. And a lot of people that we work with, when they first get back in contact with their ex, or even like as they're going through that breakup, through the no contact phase and everything, they don't really have very strong boundaries. And so their ex will call and they'll instantly drop everything they're doing, pick up the phone and talk to them, or call them back right away at the detriment of everything else in their lives. And this really is kind of a poor set of boundaries that really causes a sort of situation where your ex can really take advantage of you and really push you around. Really, it kind of is kind of like the nice guy thing that a lot of guys in the dating world are familiar with, where the hot girl will snap her fingers and he'll come ready to lick her toes or whatever like that. But there's also a sort of unhealthy extreme when you're dealing with any sort of continuum like that. There's also an unhealthy extreme on the other side of the pendulum. And the whole nice guy thing, that happens to be the jerk, bad boy kind of deal, right? And that's like where the nice guy realizes that he's been doing it wrong his whole life. And instead of just sort of bowing to every woman who gives him a scrap of attention, he'll decide to just be like, "Oh yeah, man, I'm such a badass. No woman ever gonna tell me what to do. Yeah, screw you all." That's kind of like the wrong kind of overcorrection. Instead of really getting you the results that you want, you just are still being closed off to having any sort of real emotional connection and really expressing authentically and genuinely who you are. And instead, you're just coming off like a dick, basically. And maybe that gives you a little bit better results, depending on what results you actually want. I'm assuming you probably want a great relationship where you can feel open to express who you are. And maybe that doesn't give you the best results in that case, but maybe you do get a little bit more attention from women. But still, it's just moving from one unhealthy extreme to another. And a lot of people going through breakups have a similar sort of experience where on one hand, they'll be at their ex's beck and call, and they may realize that that's not the way to go. They may sort of have this experience that it creates a situation where their ex doesn't respect them, where they don't respond as in a timely fashion like their ex would want, and they can take advantage of them. And they may realize that they need to sort of overcorrect, and they may overcorrect too far in the other direction, if you know what I'm saying. And they may be like, if your ex is sort of a little bit wishy-washy about meeting up or something, they might be like, "Well, you know what, man? If you can't tell me when you want to get together, then I just don't even want to have anything to do with you ever at all again, ever. Bye." And that's a little bit extreme too, because like we talked about in a previous video, in order to get from breaking up, where your ex has very negative feelings of you, to getting back together where they have positive feelings of you, you have to really pull them through that emotional gray zone where for a while they're gonna be sort of giving you mixed messages, sometimes saying that they want to pull away from you, and sometimes saying that they want to move towards you. And if you're trying to push them through that gray zone without actually letting them move through it at their own pace, then you're just going to push them away further by posturing. Basically you're going from one end of the spectrum, which is collapse, just dropping everything that you can in order to really just be at their beck and call, to the complete opposite, which is posturing, which is puffing yourself up, making yourself seem like this super tough guy who is unimpacted by anything. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to have to pick between one unhealthy extreme or the other. What we would actually recommend that you do is you realize this entire duality is just a bankrupt game, the one that's not even really worth playing, and instead just being completely open and honest and forthright with what you want, but without really collapsing and compromising who who you are. So for example, with the example of your ex who is maybe being wishy-washy about getting together with you, meeting up with you, you can just say, hey, you know, I understand that that maybe you're not completely decided about this yet, but you know what? I need to make plans for my own schedule, and if you can't make a decision by such and such a date, then you know, I can't guarantee that I'll be able to meet up with you. You know, I really want to spend time with you, but I can't always be available for you. Just something simple like that, where it's firm, it's direct, it's kind and loving, but it's also respecting your own boundaries as a person. So I hope this has helped you. And if you'd like to learn more about how to save your relationship after a breakup, and if you're not already a member of our mailing list, please go to relationshipinnergame.com and sign up there. Thank you.